And hello, everyone. We are here with the ETBU Sportsnet. This is Kenneth the KROCK Cline. And folks, summer is here. And you know what that means. It's time to recap the 2020-2021 season by unveiling our top 10 individual moments from this past season. And of course, we have a lot of individual moments going on here, especially in the year of a pandemic situation. But we've managed to cut it down to 10. And today we're going to be starting off our countdown with our number 10 individual moment. That, of course, is Sayers Collins, ETBU baseball player who had a remarkable relief outing against Louisiana College, a career-high 11 strikeouts in 5 innings of work. And Sayers, of course, joins us now. Sayers, first and foremost, congrats on making the top 10, kicking things off. What's been going on with you lately?
I've just been finding time to rest a little bit since we've gotten off, and I've been starting to work out with some of the teammates too. But just gearing up for summer baseball, really get that itch for August already.
Yeah, I know, definitely. After a season like you had, I know you were kind of anxious to get back on the baseball field because it was a really such a tremendous year for the team, but also for you as well. I mean, you think back to where you were as a freshman on a team that won 3 games, but in your defense, you were pretty young. You were kind of getting some experience playing. And then, of course, the COVID-19 really sort of helped you out. The break, that is, really kind of made you guys just relax, stay focused. And then the next season, you were able to put it all together as well. Just kind of talk about the transition from having your season last year come to an end early to make it a big progression for this past year.
Well, I know my freshman year we were pretty young, but coming into my sophomore season, our team got even younger, and that fall season was really a grind. I think it was about 6 to 8 weeks, and our coaches stayed on us, and we're really competitive. And we went into the spring season, really tight knit and a close group. So, really all it came down to was just execution. We didn't really have to work on internal adversity at all. So it really, it's the fall season set us up nice, and I think like you said, the COVID break helped us kind of escape an embarrassing season. I think it worked out, and we didn't have a lot of depth, but our depth was really good. So, it was next man up. Everybody was capable of doing their job.
Yeah, certainly. And, just watching you guys, I know that there was an early period where you were kind of figuring things out, but then you kind of went into a bit of a hot stretch where you were starting to win as many series as you possibly can, and it got you a great year as well. Looking forward to seeing what your team can do next year. Okay, so the moment that we're talking about, your relief outing against Louisiana College. Now, at the time, they were the top team in the conference, and certainly they had won the first game of the doubleheader. So you're in a tie game, 3-3. It's the 5th inning. First 2 guys get on for LC. Coach Hood goes to the mound, or Tanner does, the pitching coach, and he calls you into the game as well. What are you thinking about going into that situation where it's nobody out, 2 runners on base? What goes through your mind as you're coming right in?
Well, the past couple weeks, we're really good at scoring runs late in the games. So I wasn't exactly worried about giving up those 2 runs, at least at the most 2. But I was expecting, come in, do my job, maybe 2 innings, and then pass the baton on to the next guy. But then it quickly turned into, I got the hot hand, which, every week it's somebody new. So I just kept thinking to keep the pressure on the other team's pitcher. And eventually, we put up a few runs and we got out of there. So it was really just sit and wait for our really talented lineup to put some runs across. Because, at that point, you kind of knew we were going to score some runs. So just do my job.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember this at all, but your first inning of work, you actually pitched an immaculate inning. You threw 9 pitches, struck out 3 batters in a row on 9 straight pitches, and then you ended up with 5. So you got about half of your strikeouts from the first 5 batters as well. Like, do you kind of know, like, when you're kind of in the zone right now, like you can just feel it as a pitcher, or does it just kind of come naturally?
I think with the preparation that our coaches have had us do, you kind of know when you're going to be in the zone because you've got that preparation. And I know Coach Savelli works on us with our mental training a lot. So when you're on the mound in a big situation like that, it's not really you can just trust your pitches. And I was able to trust my pitches. And so, I think again, with the preparation, it really didn't let the moment get too big. So I was just doing my job.
Absolutely, indeed. Now, of course, that also kind of coincided with an incredible week for you. You actually got to appear in the next game against Louisiana College the very next day. You ended up getting the save, and then you wind up being named ASC Pitcher of the Week because you had pitched against Centenary and had another good outing against him as well. So weekly honors as well. I mean, for you this past season, you really sort of became one of the top relievers of the team as well. Like, when you kind of look around and you've seen all these awards that you just picked up, what does that do for you from a personal standpoint, but also knowing that your teammates have complete trust in you to be a pitcher in a situation when they can call upon you?
Well, individual awards they're nice, but at the end of the day, you don't have the satisfaction as you would have with like team awards. We were right there with the conference championship, but it really just sets the bar high for myself and for the team. Getting an all-region award, a couple of us. I know Isaiah is probably one of the best pitchers I've seen in a long time, and it just sets the bar high for us going into next year. And knowing that we had such a successful season, but our ceiling still hasn't been reached yet. Just knowing that it gives you like a little bit of motivation going into the summer and into the fall season that we're about to have. It's just like sky's the limit, and we haven't really come close to tapping into our potential as a really young team. So it's honestly, it's really exciting. So.
Now, you kind of have a bit of a unique situation on your team because you also have experience as a designated hitter. I think about Shohei Ohtani with the Angels and what he does, not only as a pitcher, but also as a hitter as well. So obviously, when you're a designated hitter as well, but there's always a possibility that you can be a pitcher as well. Do you always kind of prepare like, okay, I'm kind of expecting the pitch, or just try to work on what swings I need to have in order to face a pitcher when I do come up to bat? Or does it always comes down to the planning from the coaching staff, depending on the opponent?
I just kind of, if I see my name in the lineup, I try and prepare for that high tense situation that comes about later in the game, with trying to juggle DHing and pitching. And it worked a few times. It didn't work a few times. But like I said, with the mental training with Coach Matthews and Coach Savelli, I think that helped a lot with, especially my game. But I know it helped with a lot of other pitchers. And it was real popular with the majority of the team by the end of the season. So I'm sure hopefully that'll carry over.
Exactly right. So, and last question, obviously, a big turnaround for you guys going from 3 wins this past season or last year to 26 wins this past season and appearance in the Gold Championship Series. You're losing a couple of arms, but you're pretty much returning a bulk of your team as well, especially some pitchers and everything. Just kind of talk about the mindset of the team going into next year. Like, you obviously know what it's like. Now you're just hoping that what you learned from last year can be applied to this upcoming season, especially for the newbies that will be coming in for the squad.
Well, I think for a lot of us, I know for me too, it was being in that Gold Championship Series. There were a few times where maybe we let the moment get to our head a little bit. Like first time being there for the good majority of the team. And I think going in the next couple of years, even when you get some more new guys coming in the rotation, the lineup, that the foundation that we built this past year, they know what it's like to be in those big type of games. And I think it sets a good foundation, especially when the majority of your lineup was underclassmen. So you have that experience for several years. I think that's starting to not just have a good team, but you're building a good program, and that's good for us. That's good for the coach. And that's good for the school. So.
Absolutely, indeed. All right, Sayers Collins, congratulations for your outstanding season and for being the top 10's number 10 on this year's list. We look forward to seeing what you can do for next season.
Thank you.
All right, that's Sayers Collins. I'm Kenneth the KROCK Cline. Tune in next time as we will unveil our number 9 moment on our top 10 2020-21 ETBU moments from this past season.